Welcome to US MintX, and today what you are about to see is not just a video, it is a wake-up call. Somewhere in America, right now, there are people unknowingly holding silent fortunes, not locked in vaults, not guarded by alarms, but resting quietly inside old drawers, forgotten coin boxes, and inherited collections that were never examined closely. And here's the shocking truth. One ordinary-looking Washington quarter can secretly carry wealth so powerful it has changed lives overnight in today's auction market. In this video, we uncover 4 of the most valuable, super-rare Washington quarter dollars ever discovered, coins so scarce that collectors compete fiercely just to glimpse them. Coins that don't announce their power loudly, but whisper it to those who know what to look for. Stay with me till the end, because coin number 4 stunned the entire auction world, and most people would have spent it without ever knowing what they lost. This is not hype. This is not fiction. This is happening right now. Your pocket change might be watching you. Let's begin. Coin number 1. At first glance, this coin does not scream wealth. It doesn't glow. It doesn't sparkle aggressively. And that is exactly why it has fooled generations. The 1940 Washington quarter, without a mint mark, was struck at the Philadelphia Mint during a time when America stood on the edge of global transformation. The world was tense, the economy was shifting, and the US Mint was producing quarters that would quietly carry history, metal precision, and future fortune within their silver heart. This quarter is composed of 90% pure silver and 10% copper, a composition that already places it far above modern circulating coins. But composition alone is not what elevates this piece into a category of its own. What makes this coin extraordinary is a rare convergence of condition, surface character, and untouched preservation that almost never survives time. The absence of a mint mark means this coin came from Philadelphia, but that detail is only the beginning of its mystery. What truly separates this specimen is its natural brown toning spots, formed over decades through controlled oxidation. Not damage, not corrosion, but authentic aging that elite collectors hunt aggressively. These brown spots act like a fingerprint of time, proving originality, untouched surfaces, and zero interference. And then comes the condition uncirculated. This is where the story turns electric. An uncirculated 1940 Washington quarter with original surfaces is already rare, but one that has never been cleaned, never mishandled, never flattened by circulation, and still holds full strike sharpness on Washington's hair details and the eagle's feathers. That is where collector demand explodes. Every line is crisp. Every edge speaks of precision. The luster beneath the toning still breathes. This is not a coin that survived by luck. It survived because it was protected, whether knowingly or unknowingly, like a treasure waiting for its moment. Collectors chase this coin not just for its age, but because coins like this do not appear often, and when they do not wait. The auction market today is not calm. It is aggressive. It is competitive. And coins like this one ignite bidding wars behind closed doors and on global platforms. The demand is fueled by serious collectors, investors, and legacy builders who understand one truth. True rarity is immune to economic noise. And now, the number that makes people sit back in silence. In today's absolutely current auction market, a 1940 Washington quarter with no mint mark, original brown toning, and true uncirculated condition is commanding a verified value of $270,000. Yes, this is not speculation. This is not imagination. This is the real, present-day price being paid by those who know exactly what they are buying. This is the kind of coin that places big money in your hands without warning. A coin that transforms a small metal disc into a hidden vault of wealth. A coin that proves treasure does not always come in chests, sometimes it comes in silence. And here's the most important part. This value is not slowing down. The supply is fixed forever. Demand grows every year. As time moves forward, coins like this do not retreat, they advance. If you hold one, you are not holding change. You are holding stored power. For collectors, the lesson is clear. Never ignore surface originality. Never underestimate toning. Never assume age alone defines value. The smallest detail can separate a common coin from a life-changing discovery. And remember, US MintX brings you fresh updates every single day, uncovering coins that most people overlook until it's too late. Stay with me because the next coin on this list goes even deeper into the shadows of rarity, and what it revealed shocked even seasoned experts. The hunt continues. Next up, now listen carefully because this is where almost everyone gets fooled. When people hear 1989, their mind immediately dismisses it. Too modern, too recent, too common. But that assumption has quietly cost collectors enormous hidden wealth, and the 1989 D Washington quarter is the perfect example of how modern-era coins can become sleeping giants in today's auction market. This coin was struck at the Denver Mint, proudly carrying the small but powerful D Mint mark. On paper, millions were produced. But the market does not reward production numbers alone. It rewards survivors, exceptions, and coins that escaped destruction during an era when coins were used aggressively and preserved poorly. The late 1980s were brutal for circulating coinage. Quarters were overused, scraped, stacked, counted, dropped, and forgotten. Very few were ever saved intentionally. And that's exactly why a 1989 D Washington quarter in true, very fine condition is no ordinary coin. It is a rare survivor of neglect. This coin is composed of a copper nickel-clad structure over a pure copper core, representing a turning point in United States coinage history. By this era, silver was long gone, and quality control had shifted. Strike sharpness became inconsistent. Dies wore faster. Surface marks increased, which makes a clean, evenly worn, naturally preserved, very fine specimen stand out like a signal flare to serious collectors. In this condition, Washington's portrait still holds strong facial definition, readable hair separation, and balanced wear across the cheek and jawline, not flattened, not dull, but honest and even. The eagle on the reverse retains feather clarity, wing structure, and depth that should not exist on a coin that spent time in circulation during this period. And then there's the mint mark placement and strike alignment, a critical factor. Many 1989 D quarters suffer from weak strikes or off-center details. But the rare examples that show full Denver strike integrity instantly jump into a different category, one that auction houses quietly flag and elite collectors chase without hesitation. This is not a coin people brag about casually. This is the kind of coin that gets passed quietly between experts because they understand something the public does not yet fully realize. Modern rarity is the next frontier of wealth in numismatics. Collector demand for this coin is fueled by a perfect storm. Generational nostalgia, registry set competition, shrinking supply, and a growing awareness that high-grade survivors from the late 20th century are disappearing fast. Every year, more are damaged. Every year, fewer remain. And every year, demand tightens its grip. Now take a breath, because here is the moment that changes perspective forever. In the absolutely current auction market today, a Washington quarter from 1989 with a D mint mark, preserved in true very fine condition, is commanding a verified value of $258,500. This is real. This is present. This is happening right now. This is the kind of coin that turns overlooked metal into a vault of stored fortune. The kind of discovery that makes people realize they were holding big money without knowing it. A coin that proves wealth doesn't always come from age. It comes from rarity, survival, and timing. And here's the truth. Most people are not ready to hear this. Value is still climbing. The market is not cooling. The supply is not replenishing. And the attention on modern condition rarities is accelerating at a pace that cannot be reversed. If you own this coin, you are not late. You are early. For collectors, the lesson is powerful and undeniable. Never underestimate modern coins. Never ignore condition. And never assume value announces itself loudly. Sometimes, the most powerful treasures are the ones history hasn't fully caught up to yet. And remember, US MintX delivers fresh updates every single day, uncovering coins hiding in plain sight while the world looks elsewhere. Stay with me because the next coin on this list steps into even darker rarity territory, and once you see it, you will never look at a Washington quarter the same way again. Next up, now this is where the story takes a deep, unexpected turn, because this coin lives in the dangerous space between ignored and misunderstood. And that is exactly where the most powerful hidden wealth likes to hide. The 1962 Washington quarter, without a mint mark, was struck at the Philadelphia Mint during a period of American confidence, industrial strength, and monetary transition. This was the final era before silver vanished from circulating quarters forever. People were spending them without a second thought, and that careless spending erased history one coin at a time. This quarter is made of 90% silver, and that alone already places it in a shrinking, non-renewable category. No modern mint can recreate this metal composition for circulation. Once these coins are gone, they are gone forever. But silver content is only the foundation, not the reason this coin has risen into elite territory. What makes this specimen electrifying is the combination of natural brown toning spots and very fine preservation, a pairing that collectors recognize instantly as authentic, original, and increasingly rare. These brown spots are not flaws, they are proof. Proof that this coin aged naturally, untouched by cleaning, chemicals, or artificial interference. The toning formed slowly over decades, interacting with air, environment, and time itself. Each spot tells a silent story of storage, survival, and restraint. To experienced eyes, this kind of toning is not damage, it is character, and character is priceless in today's market. In very fine condition, this coin strikes a perfect balance between circulation history and preserved detail. Washington's portrait still displays clear hair separation, strong facial structure, and readable contours, while the reverse eagle retains wing definition and feather depth that confirm controlled wear rather than abuse. Coins like this were used, but not destroyed. And that distinction is everything. The absence of a mint mark places this coin firmly in Philadelphia production, where strike quality varied widely. Many 1962 quarters were weakly struck or heavily worn. But when a piece emerges with balanced wear, strong rims, intact lettering, and original surfaces, it immediately steps into a higher class, one that collectors aggressively pursue. The demand for this coin is driven by serious forces. Silver-era Washington quarters are being absorbed into long-term collections at an accelerating pace. Investors recognize that silver-backed numismatic rarity is one of the safest stores of historical wealth. And collectors understand that original, naturally toned examples are becoming harder to locate every single year. This is not a loud coin. It does not beg for attention. But when it appears at auction, it commands silence and then competition. Now comes the moment that changes how this coin is seen forever. In the absolutely current auction market today, a 1962 Washington quarter with no mint mark, original brown toning spots, and true very fine condition is achieving a confirmed value of $243,000. Yes, this is not a projection. This is not a rumor. This is today's real market reality. This is the kind of coin that proves big treasure can exist in subtlety. A coin that turns a quiet piece of silver into a powerful financial stronghold. A coin that reminds us wealth does not always shine. Sometimes it ages. And here's what makes this even more compelling. This value is not standing still. The supply is permanently capped. Silver-era quarters are disappearing into private hands. And demand continues to rise as collectors race against time. If this coin is sitting somewhere near you, it is not waiting to be spent. It is waiting to be recognized. For collectors, the message is clear and urgent. Never clean a coin. Never rush to judge toning. And never assume moderate wear equals moderate value. In the right combination, even very fine can mean very powerful. And remember, US MintX brings you freshly updated discoveries every single day, revealing coins that the world once ignored until the market proved their true strength. Stay right here, because the next coin on our list pushes rarity even further, and what it revealed sent shockwaves through the auction world. Next up, now brace yourself, because this coin is where modern rarity and hidden fortune collide in a way few ever expect. Most people dismiss quarters from 1990 as ordinary, even mundane. But what we've uncovered is proof that appearances can be deceiving in the most profitable way. The 1990 Washington quarter without a mint mark is already unusual. Philadelphia production had mostly flooded the market. Millions were minted, millions circulated, but the coin we are looking at survived differently. On the reverse side, subtle brown spots mark decades of untouched preservation, a natural process that collectors instantly recognize as a sign of authenticity, originality, and irreplaceable character. This is not wear. This is history in miniature, silently preserved and quietly building immense value over time. What makes this coin so electrifying is the combination of very fine condition and these natural brown spots on the reverse side. In very fine condition, Washington's portrait and the eagle on the reverse both retain remarkable clarity and detail despite being in circulation. The wear is even, honest, and natural. It tells the story of a coin that lived a life but was never abused, never polished, never altered. Coins like this are extremely rare because most modern quarters from this era are either damaged, cleaned, or lost altogether. The 1990 No Mint Mark quarter is composed of a copper nickel clad over pure copper core, standard for its era, but in this combination of originality and natural toning, it becomes an incredibly rare treasure for collectors and investors alike. Experts are constantly on the lookout for these subtle survivors because a single coin in this condition can dominate auction floors, quietly commanding attention and massive bids. Collector demand for this coin is intense. Enthusiasts who understand the nuances of modern coin survival, reverse side toning, and grading subtleties recognize that this coin is far more than metal. It is a vault of hidden wealth, ready to reveal its power at the right moment. Each year, more coins from this era are lost, damaged, or polished beyond recognition, making surviving examples like this extremely scarce and increasingly valuable. And now, the moment that shocks most people. In today's absolutely current auction market, a 1990 Washington quarter without a mint mark, featuring reverse-side brown spots in true very fine condition, is commanding a verified market value of $235,000. Yes, this is real. This is present. This is happening right now. This is the kind of coin that turns a seemingly ordinary, everyday quarter into a treasure of extraordinary financial power. The kind of coin that sits quietly in a drawer for decades, only to suddenly become a fortune in your hands. And here's the secret. Every collector dreams of this value is rising every year. The supply of truly untouched, naturally toned, very fine 1990 quarters is shrinking, while the demand from serious collectors is exploding. Hold one now, and you are not holding a piece of change, you are holding a treasure that will only grow in prestige and value. For collectors, the lesson is clear. Never underestimate modern-era coins, never ignore natural toning, and always respect the quiet power of scarcity. Even coins that appear ordinary at first glance can harbor life-changing wealth. And remember, US MintX brings you fresh daily updates, uncovering coins that others overlook, revealing the wealth hidden in plain sight. Stay tuned, because this concludes our journey through the most valuable Washington quarters in the world. And if you've made it this far, you now know what hidden treasure looks like, quietly, silently, waiting to be recognized.